Hi folks, I'm Doug at Dizzy Lizzie's, and today I'm going to be changing or fitting a pull cord to this quantum engine. Now you may ask me, well, it's a simple job, isn't it? In the last, I've had people come up and they have drilled the pop rivets out instead of undoing the bolts, because that's all they saw is how to do it. And yesterday I had someone come in with this machine and said, "Someone's rounded the bolts off, could you undo them for me please?" And he was pointing at the pop rivets. So anyway, let's change the pull cord on this machine and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, first thing to do is take this plastic cover off. Now, you don't actually have to remove this plastic cover. There's two screws either side, and all you do is undo them. Put the screws in your mushroom tub. And that is that piece of plastic come off. You can undo that, which is the cover over the top of the carburetor, just to make sure it's you got a bit more space clear on it. And maybe remove the odd fruit that's behind the spring. Right, the next thing to do is to remove the fuel tank. And on here there are 3 bolts. Now, as it's a Briggs and Stratton engine, it is imperial measurement bolts. It's not 8mm. It is 5/16. So let's undo it, because these are the ones that you've got to undo to get it off. And those 3 there. They'll undo that. There's also underneath here another bolt which holds the fuel tank on. It's located there. It's underneath there. And just a quick... Oh, come on. Shit, no. Right, I'll move it. But I've got to undo that bolt. I've got to move the camera out of the way. Right, now I've removed this bolt which is underneath the tank there. You can actually move the fuel tank to one side. I wonder why it was loose, because someone's dropped the spacer out there from underneath it. It's always the fun and games of working on a new machine that you've never worked on before. Right, the next thing you've got to do, that little bolt there, which is holding on the oil feed pipe, undo that, lift it up, turn it around, because then that will cover the hole for the oil. Next thing is your 3/8 socket, and that goes and holds on a bolt there, 2 bolts at the front and another bolt at the back. So let's undo them. And then with a little bit of jiggling, off comes the pull cord mech and the housing. And what the guy was talking about, and other people, see there? Can you see that? That's what they thought held it down. They want to drill this out, drill this out, drill this out, and drill that out, the 4 pop rivets around there, to get that off. So this is how you take a pull mech off. Right, let's put the cord in. Now, on there, this is where the You can see it, that there is where the pull cord comes through here. So I use it as a reference. Now you pull it, in the rotation it gets pulled out. So the pull cord is coming out here. So when you pull it, it's going to rotate that way. So I let it settle. I go, okay, that's at one point there. That's where it comes through. So I go once round, twice round, and it sounds like the spring's gone. Okay, now I've repaired the spring. It now returns. So where were we? That was it. That is the point the cord comes through the pulley mech, starter mech. So what I do is it comes in through here, so I measure it as once round, twice round, 3 times round, 4 times round. It's starting to get a bit stiff. 5 times round, 6 times round. And then what I do is I put a screwdriver through there to hold it in place. The next thing, now whenever I do one of these pull cord starters, when I cut there, I always heat the end up to melt it off. It stops the end from fraying, but also when you're trying to push it through a small hole, it stops it from splaying out. So okay, now we just push it through here, and if I'm lucky, there we go, straight through. And then we just do the quick knot on the end, tighten it up, pull the flat blade screwdriver out, give that a yank. You can see that is now pulled in completely. The reason why I do that is sometimes people prefer them like that, so if it's loose, that'll just be flopping around. So anyway, now let's put this back on the machine. Okay, now time to put the pull cord mech back on. Now where it attaches, there's 4 bolts, so I put a bit of copper slip in each hole. Doesn't need much, just a little bit on the end of the screwdriver. And then push that over the top. Then you get your 4 3/8 drive bolts. Stick them in the front. Just give them a couple of threads in. Let's see, one in there, one in there. And that's the pull cord mech on solidly. The next thing, a bit more copper slip. That goes into that one there, and then into the 3 bolt holes that hold the fuel tank on. I forgot to put that over. Okay, that. And you can see these bolts have got a shoulder on them. And the idea is that they come down and they clamp onto the plastic, but they don't go any further. It's right, I found it because it's not my 10mm. Then I put this in place, grab the other bolts, just turn them with the end of my finger to help them line up. One in there, one in there, one in there. Now, I haven't forgotten about this bolt that goes underneath there, but there should be a spacer that helps clamp this down onto the engine. But I haven't got one of them, so I'll just have to fit it in and tell the customer that someone's taken it apart and hasn't put the other parts back in. But I'll do that in a second. Just got to get that into the hole underneath the tank. Actually, I've got to move this again. I'll do that now and I'll be back. Right, now I've put the bolt in underneath there. Remember, it's 3/8 because it's a imperial measurements on this engine. Next thing is the plastic cover. And you can see where it goes through previously. This is where it got stuck up beforehand, but you don't need to undo that plastic cover. You do need to feed the handle. Let's put that down there before I knock them into somewhere. Put the handle through there. And then gently tap it into place. There's 2 screws which go here and here. And you can feed the screws through the top like that. So you don't have to take this plastic piece off and break it like someone did earlier before I even got to it. Wind the screws in there like that. Wind the screw in there like that. Then you've got this cover which goes over the carburettor. Just got to line that up. That's it, it's in. Yeah, something's bent around there, but then God knows what's happened on this machine. Do you know something? I don't even know if it's going to start. I know it's run recently because the green grass is on it. But I don't know if it'll start now. But anyway, I've now got to pull this out and put it around the handle. But that is how you change a pull cord mech on one of these, and you don't have to drill out a pot rivet to do it. So there, folks, if you've got a quantum engine, Briggs & Stratton quantum engine, and the pull cord's gone on it, that's how you take the covers off to get into the pull cord. Also remember, Briggs & Stratton is an American company and they use imperial sized bolts. So it's 3/16, 3/8, 5/16, 1/4, whatever. It's not 10mm, it's not 8mm, because if you use an 8mm on a 5/16 socket, it gradually it will spin and chew it up. And the only way to undo it, use a 5/16 socket. So if you found that helpful, much appreciate it if you hit the like button, and if you really did appreciate it, please hit the subscribe. It's totally free and much appreciated. So until next video, folks, take care and don't start drilling out stuff until you make sure that you need to drill out stuff. Take care, bye.